I want to thank you for joining me today. And before we get started, as always, all messages that are released on this channel are my truth. And that is exactly what it is and what it always will be. And that is my truth. Now, my truth consists of a bunch of experiences that I gained clarity from, which ultimately took me back to the real me, which is truth. Now, when I try to convince you that my truth is the gospel, however, my truth is the gospel for me. That does not make it the gospel for you, nor will I ever try to make it the gospel for you. By me being on this platform, I am simply placing breadcrumbs on a path that I've already walked. Now, you find yourself on a similar path and you resonate with said breadcrumbs and you say, you know what, I like that. I want to follow that. And that's cool. If not, that is cool as well. My purpose is to assist those who are ready to get out of their own way. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to keep this nice momentum that we have going. Still on the same snowball of energy that we're rolling down this big old hill, right? And as this snowball of energy collects momentum, it becomes bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger. Impossible for you to stop. And I'm just placing high vibrational energies into this big snowball. And right now it's just full of love, light, and healing and peace. All right. So that's what these messages are designed to do. Yeah, some of them are going to roll right over you. Why? Because I don't bite my tongue. I speak truth. I just speak what comes. And that's that. Like, I don't pull any punches. I didn't even, it's funny because I didn't even plan on being online and putting out messages and this, that, and the other, because I know how I speak. I know me. I say in plenty of messages, I know me. So when I got the push to put out messages, I was like, man, you sure about this, guy? I thought you liked me, guy. You know, these fools, they be acting a fool when you sitting out here telling truth. So you sure you want to put me in this position? so, because I don't bite my tongue. I don't. And I guess that's why I'm put in this position. And the only reason I came to this conclusion was because of my previous programming. I sat back and I thought, and I'm like, man, it's so easy for me to say, oh man, I would have never seen myself doing this. But I had to sit back and ask myself, like, well, why do I think like that? And then once I start asking myself questions, things pop up in my head. And every question that I ask, I kid you not, everything that popped up in my head goes back to childhood. Every single answer. I was like, dang. Then I looked at why I didn't like speaking out and this, that, and the other. Because of my childhood. I was punished for that. I was punished for asking questions, digging deeper into things. Right? So I wasn't able to speak my truth. And it kind of made me sit back in the shadows all the way into my adult life. And I was always the type of person, I go into class because it was the same thing at school. I would get in trouble for asking questions, speaking truth. Then I get in trouble. So then I learned to just keep my mouth shut. I didn't ask any questions. Then I got in observation mode. And I stayed in observation mode until now of me putting out these messages. So for pretty much all of my life, except for a very few short years in the beginning, I've been in observation mode, straight observation mode. So the things that I'm putting on these messages are things that I've experienced, things that I lived. I'm not telling you from a book. By me giving you examples, I'm giving you examples of things that I actually experienced. And so you could relate to it, I'm giving you examples from books. But I've lived these things that I'm speaking in these messages. So with that, we're going to continue on. And as the theme is, it's always been and always will be energy. That's what we're going to talk about now. The polarity of the energies that you have within you. And everyone, and I do mean everyone, has a positive and a negative. But we're going to go to what I loathe, and that is words. So I don't like words because they're, number one, they're abused, and it's so easy for you to say something and don't have any experience in it, no knowledge in it, no nothing. That's why I don't like words. Words are liars' happy place. That's their playground. Just words. No action, give you words. And for a long time, I would follow words because I had to understand that everybody's not like me. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it because I gave you my word, and my word means something to me. And it always has, and it always will. So let's talk about it. And I'm going to give you different words throughout this message. And these different words are going to be saying the exact same thing, but I'm using different words. So right now we're going to talk about the polarity of the battery, right? So with that, have you ever went to the store and bought some batteries and you said, you know what? I don't want this band of batteries because it has a negative in. I'm sorry, I'm only about that positivity. No, you've never said that. Why? Because you have to have balance. And that is what is inside of that battery. Balance. You have a negative side, you have a positive side. On the screen, you see 3 different batteries, and all 3 of them have a negative side and a positive side. Balance. You have a sun and you have a moon. Sun provides day, the moon shines light during the night. Balance. Can't have one without the other. Oh, I just want to experience all good. How do you know what good is without having bad? You have to experience bad in order to appreciate good. If you've been in bad all your life and now you're in good, you're going to appreciate that good a lot more because you know what bad is like. Balance. That's what you need. Balance. You hear me saying a lot of messages, I know me. Is because I spend a lot of time within myself. It's kind of a little bit contradicting when I think about it, because I don't fear the dark, right? But what held me hostage for a very long time was fearing my darkness. I didn't have that balance. I was positive. I was only focused on the positive aspects. My darkness scared me because I was seeing others operate in their darkness, and I was like, I want no parts of that. So that made me avoid my darkness, which is what it was designed to do. Pretty much put me against myself. Your strength, your boundaries, all these different things lie in your darkness. That's why you have to have both to provide balance. So I avoided my darkness. I wasn't scared of the darkness because I was pushed into darkness very early. So I had to learn to explore it with my curiosity, because I wasn't afraid of anything that was in the darkness, but I was afraid of my darkness coming out. So I avoided it. I pushed it down. I suppressed it, or at least tried to, until it's like a pressure cooker though. You keep suppressing your darkness, it's going to build, and it's going to look for the perfect opportunity to explode. So that's why you have to have balance. It's all about balance. Don't avoid one side for the other. If you get too much in your positive, the light, it's just, once again, words, same thing. We're talking about the same thing. Positive side, negative side, light, dark. But I have to be careful when I say dark, because I don't want you to associate darkness with it being all negative and evil, and just because that's not the case. It's just a word. It's the intention is what makes something evil, not darkness. The intention behind it. I can lay a pen, a knife, and a gun on the table. All 3 of those can literally take somebody out, right? But I can also use that pen to write, to draw. I can also use that knife to cut up some vegetables, chop some wood. I can use that gun to hunt, to use target practice, to feed my family. All those intentions are of the light. They're positive, right? I'm using these things for positive reasons, but I can also use them for negative reasons as well. All three of them. Does that make those things negative or evil? No, it's the intention behind the person that is wielding said things. So don't let someone push you into to be thinking a certain way. Look at stuff logically. Because they're going to push you according to their life experience. Because every word that comes out of your mouth is not truth. That can be somebody else's truth. Everything that I say in these messages are my truth. I experience this. So I know the path that I walked. That's why I say in the very beginning of these messages, I'm just laying out breadcrumbs. You know what? Hey, I resonate with what this dude's saying. What's his vibration? That's what you got to go by. Stop going by what people's words. Feel what they vibe. What does your vibration feel like? Man, you got a high vibration. Okay. Because guess what? Let me tell you this. People can say what they want to. And I would love for somebody to try to shame me for my past. I would love it. I would love it. Because you can't. How do I know what the positive is if I don't know what the negative is? Oh, okay, that's not right. Oh, okay, cool. So I have to do it this way. That's how you learn. There is no instruction book when you come into this world. So you have to learn everything. And I was in a household where they intentionally didn't teach me anything, hoping that I would fail so they could make me be dependent on them. Because one thing I was never is dependent on them because they were there for me. So I always had to figure things out on my own. So in turn, everything that they were doing against me made me that much more stronger. Because I alchemize everything that comes my way. I look for the lesson in everything that comes my way. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I will always, I see what you doing. Nah, I'm not going to do that. That's why I avoided my darkness, because I was seeing darkness in others when I was getting beatings, not spankings. I was getting beatings. And I wasn't getting a beating from the person holding that belt. I was getting a beating from that energy that was within that person. I could feel that energy. So I know it was something else controlling them. I was like, I'm not about to let that out of me. That is what I avoided for a very long time. I avoided that darkness. But that darkness is a part of you. It's not about running from it. It's about facing it and controlling it. Not giving it your energy when it's trying to seep out of you. Control that energy that is within you. But let's talk about it another way. Let's talk about paths. Because everything in life is a choice. So you can choose to walk down the path of darkness, or you can choose to walk down the path of light. Same person, different paths, different choices. Different choices lead to different lives. Now, see, I was in the dark and not realizing I was in the dark. I didn't realize that I was in survival mode. I was escaping certain things. I had shame within me, self-doubt. All these different energies. And on top of that, I was having energies projected onto me. I was having fear, betrayal, all these different energies, anger, all these different that was not mine on top of my energy that I was already trying to fight off. So now I'm trying to battle all of these energies, right? And it gets heavy. I already said another message about that silverback gorilla hopping up off my back. That's what it feels like when you start putting out all these burdens, all that shame, that fear, all that energy that doesn't serve you. Let me tell you how shame serves you. When you do something wrong, you feel that energy, emotion, you feel that emotion, energy, emotion, you feel it. Oh, dang, I feel bad, man. I did something wrong. You know what? This feeling tells me that I should be ashamed of myself. I should not have done that. You know what? You're right. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to move in that direction from now on. Boom. Let it go. That's how you deal with shame. not staying in it. What is shame? Vibrating at like 20. You know what's close to that? Death. So you do not want to stay in shame. You feel it? Oh, dang. It's a guidance system. Okay, you know what? I shouldn't have been doing that. So you can repent and go a different way. That's what it's for. Not for you to feel it. Oh, I feel, oh, let me project this on somebody else. No. That's why people don't grow. Because they feel these different emotions that they do not want to feel, do not want to face, because they want to save their ego. So in order for you to save your ego, you can't be guilty of doing somebody wrong. You can't be guilty of this and that and yada yada. The ego is not going to allow that, because if it does, it's going to tear you up, and you don't want that. So you're going to project that on somebody else. You deal with it. So I was carrying a lot of things that was not even mine. Let me tell you what got me off the path. When I started observing people and I was watching how they were moving, your pattern's going to tell me everything I need to know. Okay, why was I even caring about what you thought? That's what got me onto the right path. Realizing I was in a no-win situation because I was quiet. I kept to myself. I always chose to I was always the bigger person. You know, all these different things, right? Nice. Now I'm kind. I can understand this world's not ready for nice. So now I've had to switch it up to be kind now. Now I'm kind. But I was a lot nicer, right? And people saw that as weak, right? But now, let's revert it now. Right now, I'm just speaking truth. I'm going to tell you exactly what's on my mind. I'm not going to hold no punches. I'm not going to tell you what I think you want to hear so I can make you feel good. I'm not going to hold back on what I observe from your patterns. And it's not me trying to make someone feel bad or anything. I'm telling you your patterns. I'm telling you exactly what I see. It's a gift that I can see people's patterns. So you would think you take the information, if you want to grow and say, oh, dang, I didn't know that. Let me move different. That's not what people do. Because they want to save their ego. So then there was the gaslighting, manipulating, all this other stuff. So like I said, for doing all this stuff for years and observing how people move, now I say, like I said, now I just move on. I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to argue with you. That's the energy. I had to learn everything that I'm putting out these messages. I had to learn the hard way. That's what these messages are for. So you do not have to learn the hard way. And it also guides you out of the darkness into the light. But in order for you to do that, you're going to have to look in both of these images. No matter which path he's on, he's by himself. That's what you have to understand. You're on this path by yourself. So when you're making these choices, you need to make these choices with the best for you. I was trying to appease everybody. I was trying to save everybody. I was trying to help everybody. Everybody doesn't want to be. When I observed everybody and I watched their patterns, I'm like, they don't want to change. This is what they're comfortable at. This is what they want to do. And that's fine. I don't judge you. That's your choice. But I chose the path on the right. So I cannot hang out with those who are on the path on the left. I can't. Your energy, I know how energy works now. I understand energy. We're not equally yoked. My energy will be pulled by the lower vibrating energies. And on top of that, you're going to be consumed with what you want to call demons that are whispering in your ear. Oh, he think he better than you. He think blah, blah, blah. And then you sit there and you listen. Now you're attacking me for something that an entity said in your ear. Feed your light, not the dark. Choose the better path. That's all that it is about. Now, I want to talk about a story. Now, this story, I heard this story a long time ago. A couple years ago, to be exact. Maybe 3-4 years ago, something like that, right? And it's going to basically, it's going to be another version of what I just said, but it's going to be saying the exact same thing. So let's talk about it. So this is about an old grandfather who was talking to his grandson. It's like a Cherokee parable, right? So the old grandfather was talking to his grandson. He said, there are two wolves living inside of every person. They are always fighting. One is a dark wolf. He is anger, envy, jealousy, greed, arrogance, resentment, fear, guilt, hatred, lies, and ego. The other is a light wolf. He is love, joy, peace, kindness, hope, humility, compassion, generosity, courage, truth, and faith. The grandson thought about it for a moment and said, Grandfather, which wolf wins? The old man smiled and replied, the one you feed most. Now, typically, this is where the story ends. That's where, when I first heard the story, that's where it ends. But we're going to go a little deeper. So, we're going to continue on with this story. Then the grandson asked, Grandpa, I got it. I'm only going to feed the good wolf. No problem. And then the grandfather shook his head and said, no. If you starve the dark wolf, it will hide in the shadows, waiting for a moment of weakness. The more you ignore it, the more power it gains over you. Feed them both. Let neither rule you. The dark wolf gives you courage, discernment, boundaries, and strength to survive. The light wolf gives you compassion, love, wisdom, and peace. When they're in balance, they serve you. When one controls you, you become its servant. Sounds very similar to the stuff I was just saying and will continue to say in this message. It's the same thing. Which I was just talking about, which path, the different polarities, light, dark. I've given you a couple of different examples of the exact same thing. Exact same thing, but I'm using different words to describe the exact same thing. Stop getting caught up in words and thinking the words that you were first taught are the only words that are of truth. No, that is just what you were taught and what you know of. This is what we're fighting over right here. Being separated by words. This group says it this way, this group says it that way. If they're using this verbiage and that verbiage, I'm calling it this, you're calling it that. Tomato, tomato, same thing. Soda, pop, same thing. Using different words to describe the exact same thing. Now, this wolf story, it totally hit home for me, right? Because like I said, I fed only the white wolf. That's the only thing I was feeding. But what I didn't understand is that dark wolf just sitting back in the corner, chilling, waiting in the shadows. And let me tell you how the dark wolf, because it never got anywhere. It just got stronger. So see, if somebody would push me past my limits to my bound, then that dark wolf would just pop out in the ass, right? Justified, because I don't bother anyone. And it was those people that kept going and going and going and wouldn't let up. When you can see I'm being the bigger person, but you just want to keep going and going and going. And I kept avoiding feeding that wolf. But guess what? It just gets stronger. You can't avoid it. So it waits for the opportune time to pop out. It uses whatever it can to pop out. Okay, you don't ever let me out. Oh, here's a chance right now. I'm going to take it. That's what it is. But that's why you have to remain balanced. Balance your energies. That's all this is about. Balancing your energies. No right, no wrong. Balance. Now, all of that basically leads us to where we're at right now. You have within you, we're going to use the example everybody loves. We're going to say your highest and your lowest, right? Highest would be your God. Lowest would be devil, right? So we're going to look at it like this. You have both within you, right? The highest you can be is within your godly essence, and the lowest you can be is within the devil essence. Once again, sounds very much like the wolves, huh? Same thing, just using different words. But we're going to add this pendulum into it, right? Life is always, energy is always in motion, always. It's a pendulum swing. What you are trying to do is be centered. You're not letting either pendulum pull you. I am of light and I am of dark. I've mastered both of my energies. As I said, I've had a lot of time in the dark, that's why I said it's kind of crazy with me, because I spent a lot of time in the dark, but it did not change me. It made me stronger. The only fear I had of the dark was the darkness that was within me, because I didn't have any guidance of it. I wasn't told anything. I didn't know how to control it. I didn't know anything about it. So I feared it and I avoided it. I didn't avoid the darkness. This is the crazy part. I didn't avoid the darkness. I just avoided the darkness within me. Because of my curiosity, I'll walk all through the darkness. What's this? What's over here? The darkness doesn't scare me. It truly doesn't. And because so much darkness was done to me, and all these different things that kept coming up, and I started to catch on, like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. It made me explore my darkness. It's kind of like because I was put basically, a great example, I was basically putting my own little Truman Show, basically. Having people all around me who were fake and this and the whole shebang, just like the Truman Show. That was my life, right? And just like Truman, I had to escape the exact same way he escaped. Now in the movie, he had to escape through water because of his fear was from childhood. I tell you, everything starts childhood. From childhood, it was put in his head to fear water. So he always avoided the water. But he figured out, this must be how I got to escape. And it was. And it's the exact same thing for me. My strong suit is the darkness because I don't fear it. But I choose to stay in my light. But I'm balanced. I operate from light energy. But I am fully centered because I've mastered both light and dark. And once you can master both, you will be centered. And when you're centered in what? Truth. When I put out these messages and I use the word I and me very loosely, I've said in plenty of messages, there is no me. And what I mean by that, as soon as you say me, you're claiming to be something separate. And I'm not anything separate. I'm a part of everything and all there is. The I am. My energy is a presence. It's not a person. So I'm not going to be, oh, me, I'm this, I'm that, I'm holier than thou, I'm better than you. No, absolutely not. And it has nothing to do with being perfect. Stop thinking of things in being perfect. Oh, you did this when you were in the dark. When you were unaware, you did this. Say that again. Oh, I was in the dark. Say that again. Oh, when I was traumatized, I was being led by my traumas. Oh, okay. So that's what okay, so what am I doing now? It'll be crickets. Like my grandmother said, when you know better, you do better. I didn't know better. But once I discovered better, I don't turn back. Pendulum swings. I got to know what is wrong in order to walk in the right. Oh, okay. Nah, this is not the way to go. This is how I should be doing it. My guidance system tells me that. My guidance system is how I feel when I'm doing something. If I feel happy, love, and peace and joy from doing, okay, I know I'm in the right direction. But as soon as I feel that little something, no, then something ain't right. No, then I shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna get that feeling. You get that feeling too. But if you ignore it enough times, it just stops. And that's not a place you want to be. I've already been there. I've been there already. Not having feelings. And it wasn't because because I was working in the military and I was doing air. I cut my feelings off, and they were cut off for a long time after that. So I know what it feels like. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So like I said, I know both of them. When I got on my path, I was all up in the light. No, I'm not gonna respond that way because I'm in the light. So I had to know, oh, okay, you know what? This light stuff is cool, but I had to get balance. Like I said, when I got on my path, people were getting so many free passes because I would want to respond one certain way. I was like, nope, that's not of the light. And then I had to realize, no, you got to have dark mixed in there too, because without that dark, you're not going to enforce your boundaries. That's why I said it's not all negative. No, it's not. You have to be balanced. That's all it's about. And it's funny because I've already said this in another message, but with that pendulum swing, it's equal. Understand that. From center point, if I take that pendulum and I put it 30 degrees to the left, right? When I let it go, from center, it's going to go 30 degrees to the right from center point. Balance. If I take that pendulum, I get it up to 45 degrees. It's going to swing from center point 45 degrees in the other direction. Balance. What does that mean? That means, for me personally, for you as well, whatever your capacity for light is your capacity for dark. Now, for me personally, I have a very large capacity for light. I contain a lot of light. So when my pendulum swings to the right, I also have a capacity for a lot of dark, which is why they've been trying for my entire existence for me to flip that switch and switch to the dark side. That's why all these little traumatic experiences and all this other stuff I've been going through is for it to make me turn cold, go dark, because of my capacity for darkness. Because I have a high capacity for light, I would be a terror if I was in the dark, but I'm not, nor will I be. That's how I know I've done this who knows how many times, because certain things do not appeal to me. I can't stand bullies. I can't stand them. So I'm not going to be a bully. I was bullied when I was younger by those closest to me. I couldn't stand it. So that is why I avoided my dark. Because of what I seen. I'm not going to be like that. Then I had to realize, no, I have to go in both of those energies to provide balance. You can't avoid it. That is how you get centered. That is how you step into truth. Truth will never swing. It's always right there, centered. Truth will be truth today and a million years from now. Truth stays the same because it's truth. It's centered. But that pendulum is going to always swing. So those that were trying to, I'm going to give you the answer because I know you're wondering, why doesn't this work? Why doesn't I try to do this to him and this, and I do that to, why doesn't this work? So I'm going to go ahead and answer that for you. Once again, pendulum swings. My capacity for light, I hold more light than all those who are trying to attack me. Right? for sure. My capacity for light, because I've reached a vibration they have not reached. So they don't understand me. Never have understood me. So that pendulum swings to the right. My capacity for darkness is also higher than theirs because they have not reached the capacity of light that I have. So that means I contain both energies higher than they have, than all of those that are trying to come against me. So when you're doing something dark, my capacity for darkness is more than yours, so that it doesn't affect me. Oh, I see what you're doing right there. Like I said, my capacity is darker, so I could see what I'm like. I would have took it to this level. So, but I'm not going to, because that's not what I want to do. So that's why those things do not work, nor will they work, because my energy is balanced. I've mastered both my light and my dark. And if you want to be upset with yourself for attacking me spiritually, because that is what put me in this position. Understanding that I was being spiritually attacked, I'm like, okay, how do I stop this? That's how I rise in every situation. When I get knocked down, before I stand up, dang, I don't like being down here. How the hell did I get down here? Oh, okay. This happened, that, what did I do? Oh, okay. Now how do I leave it? Oh, okay. I'm going to make it plain. Just so I don't have to be back down there again. Now imagine doing that with every situation in life. Like I said, I've been doing this since I was a kid. And I readjust. I don't get caught up in whatever plan I set in motion. As soon as I see this not working, oh no, I miscalculated. Okay, no problem. Readjust. Stop getting caught up in words. Stop getting caught up, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, and this, that. Nah. Balance. That's all it's about. It's balance. I've given you, like 4 different examples of the same exact thing. 4 different examples. And they're all saying the same thing. But okay, let's go ahead and go to the Bible too. Just real quick. Galatians 5:16-17. So I say, walk by the Spirit. You will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to spirit, and the spirit what's contrary to flesh. They are in conflict with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want. That kind of sounds like the white wolf and the gray wolf to me. Don't you think? Like I said, different words, depending on which you was introduced first. Cherokee, they're going to tell you about the white wolf and gray wolf. If you're a Christian, they're going to tell you about the spirit and the flesh. Spirit refers to what? Positive, your light energy. The flesh, negative, dark energy. They're just telling you in different ways. Works of the flesh, sexual immortality, immorality, hatred, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, envy, drunkenness, and any kind of behaviors like that. Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Those are fruits of the flesh. Sounds, like I said, just like the wolves. Positive, negative, good, bad. Everybody going to use words that appeal to them, but do not fall in love with these words. That's all they are. That's all it is. Romans 8:5-6. Those who live according to the flesh have their mind set on flesh desires, but those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their mind set on what the Spirit desires. The mind is governed by the flesh is death, but mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. My mind is governed by Spirit. Peace. That's on. Once you come into my energetic field, and once I notice my peace leaves, you leaving right behind it. That's what I'm going to, because that's telling me, oh no, your energy is off. You ain't got to say nothing. Your energy is going to interact. When people come into your energetic field, what you're feeling is your energy balancing out between all these energies that you're surrounded with. Energy, the universe likes balance. That's why you should be people that you're equally yoked with. So your energy doesn't have to fluctuate. If you're vibrating high, you get with somebody who's vibrating low, but they look good. Okay. Let's see what that's going to do to your energy. I was there before. I was there. Going by how sexy you look. Oh, dang, she fine. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and blah, blah, blah. I ain't even worried about that. Now, I'm worried about your heart. Because that your energy is going to affect my energy. That's what matters to me. Balance. But they're all saying the exact same thing. Like I said, Christianity, flesh and spirit. Cherokee, we're talking about two wolves. Ancient Egyptian, what are they talking about? The heart of the feather. The heart versus the feather. Feather of Ma'at. What does the Ma'at, the feather represent? Truth, justice, balance. You put that feather and you put your heart on there. If the feather weighs more than the heart, it's going to eat your heart, and boom, you're in eternal darkness. If not, boom, you may pass. You're going to go with Osiris to the field of reeds. Life ever after. Hinduism, lower self, higher self. Buddhism, craving versus awakening. Taoism, yin yang. Stoicism, passion versus virtue. All things, every single thing that I just said, they're using different words, but they are talking about the exact same thing. So what does that mean? Why are we arguing and fighting over words? What are the words pointing to? They're pointing you all in the same direction within yourself. So you can balance yourself. If you're more focused on the outside, you're never going to get balanced on the inside. I'm telling you these things because I was focused on the outside. Everything I'm telling you, I had to overcome. That's it. Then you have to be careful because some of these books and all this other stuff is designed to keep you trapped, keep you stuck. I go by trial and error. Oh, okay, nope, that ain't the way. But out of everything I know my life turned the quickest is when I started to go within. Period. Yes, I was reading and all this other stuff. That was cool. That helped me a lot. But the major changes when I went inside. I started doing the quote unquote shadow work. When I started to face that fear. And the only fear that I had was my darkness. Because I didn't understand when I was a child. I didn't have any direction. So when I understood, you know what? Why am I fearing what's inside of me? Why don't I explore it a little bit more? So I did. And I advise you to do the same thing. Because once you do, you're going to step into John 8:32. And what does it talk about? The truth. And what does the truth do? It sets you free. Everything I tell you, I'm pointing you to the inside. All these messages all point to the inside because you have to do the work. And that's the only way it's going to happen is if you do the work. So I'm going to leave it there. And as always, you got anything out of this message, make sure you like, subscribe, and I will definitely check you in the next one.